Imagine standing near a peaceful mountain, when suddenly it explodes with the raw energy of hundreds of atomic bombs simultaneously. What if I told you that some volcanic eruptions spark massive bolts of lightning from pure friction? That there is a volcano in Africa with a permanent bubbling lake of molten rock? And that the largest volcano in our solar system is so massive it could cover the entire state of New Mexico?
Did you know?
Volcanoes are among the most terrifyingly powerful natural forces on Earth. They have reshaped continents, created entire island nations, and directed the course of biological evolution for billions of years. While we often view them as purely destructive disasters, volcanoes are also nature's master architects, building fertile land, regulating internal planetary pressure, and venting life-giving gases into our atmosphere. Let's begin. Fact 1. Earth harbors over 1,500 potentially active volcanoes. When we think of active volcanoes, we usually picture a few famous mountains like Mount Vesuvius or Hawaii's Kilauea. But beneath our feet, Earth is practically bursting at the seams. Geologists estimate there are over 1,500 potentially active volcanoes scattered across every continent on Earth except Australia. About 75% of these geological monsters sit along the Pacific Ring of Fire, a 25,000-mile horseshoe-shaped belt where tectonic plates continuously crash, slide, and sink underneath one another. This single zone is responsible for 90% of all global earthquakes and 3/4 of all active volcanic vents. Scientists constantly monitor these dormant giants for subtle ground inflation, gas emissions, and micro-tremors, because beneath our calm landscapes, the Earth is constantly cooking. Fact 2. Eruptions can generate real volcanic lightning. Watching a fiery volcanic eruption is intimidating enough, but during extremely violent eruptions, a bizarre spectacle occurs. Volcanic lightning, often called dirty thunderstorms. How does an eruption trigger atmospheric electricity? It comes down to pure physical friction. As hot volcanic ash, pulverized rock, and ice crystals are blasted into the sky at supersonic speeds, they crash into each other billions of times per second. This intense friction strips electrons from particles, generating enormous static electrical charges within the dense plume. When the charge difference grows too great, it snaps across the ash cloud, creating magnificent, apocalyptic lightning bolts trapped inside the eruption. Fact 3. Lava flow temperatures can melt solid steel. Lava looks like liquid fire, but it is actually melted solid rock that has been heated far beyond anything we experience in everyday life. Freshly erupted lava ranges in temperature from 700 to over 1,200 degrees Celsius. That's 1,300 to 2,200 degrees Fahrenheit. That is hot enough to incinerate trees instantly, melt solid aluminum and copper, and burn through asphalt highways like butter. Fortunately, because basaltic lava is extremely dense and viscous, many thick surface flows move at a leisurely walking pace, giving nearby communities time to evacuate safely. However, pyroclastic flows, superheated clouds of gas and ash, can race down mountain slopes at over 400 miles per hour. Fact 4. Earth's biggest volcano is mostly hidden underwater. If you ask most people to name the tallest mountain on Earth, they will instantly answer Mount Everest. But if you measure a mountain from its actual geological base rather than sea level, Earth's true titan is Mauna Loa in Hawaii. While Everest reaches 8,848 meters, 29,031 feet, above sea level, Mauna Loa's base rests deep on the ocean floor. From its submerged underwater roots to its Hawaiian summit, Mauna Loa towers over 9,170 meters, 30,085 feet, tall, beating Everest by hundreds of meters. Furthermore, Mauna Loa is so immensely heavy that its massive weight depresses the Earth's crust underneath it by another 8 kilometers. Fact 5. Volcanoes can sleep for thousands of years before rewaking. Human lifespans are measured in decades, but geological time moves in millennia. Because of this, a volcano that hasn't erupted in written history isn't necessarily dead. It might just be taking a long nap. Geologists classify a volcano as active if it has erupted within the last 10,000 years. Some volcanoes remain completely silent for thousands of years, allowing lush forests and towns to build up around their slopes before fresh magma repressurizes the chamber beneath. This was precisely what happened at Mount Vesuvius in 79 Anno Domini and Mount St. Helens in 1980, reminding us that dormant mountains can awaken with explosive speed. Fact 6. Volcanoes created over 80% of Earth's surface. Take a look at a map of Hawaii, Iceland, the Galapagos, or Japan. None of these landmasses existed originally. They were built completely from scratch by volcanic eruptions. Over 80% of the surface of our planet, both above and below sea level, originates from volcanic rock. Over millions of years, undersea volcanic vents spewed layer upon layer of cooling basalt lava. Eventually, those undersea mountains broke through the surface of the ocean, creating new, fertile islands. Without continuous volcanic activity recycling Earth's inner mantle, our planet's topography would be largely submerged beneath global oceans. If you're fascinated by these planetary secrets, take a quick second to hit that like button and subscribe to Tina Fact. It helps us bring you more amazing science and nature stories. Fact 7. Volcanic ash isn't soft burned wood, it's microscopic glass. When people hear the word ash, they picture soft, fluffy powder from a wood bonfire. But volcanic ash is vastly different and far more dangerous. Volcanic ash is made of tiny, jagged particles of shattered rock, minerals, and volcanic glass smaller than 2 millimeters across. Because it consists of abrasive glass and rock, breathing it in can severely damage human lung tissue. Even worse, when airplanes fly through high-altitude ash clouds, the microscopic glass melted by jet engines coats the internal turbines in liquid glass, causing engines to flame out and stall in midair. Fact 8. Mount Nyiragongo houses a permanent lake of boiling lava. In most volcanoes, molten magma remains trapped deep underground until an eruption forces it out. But in a few rare places on Earth, open lava lakes bubble continuously for decades. The most famous and terrifying of these is located inside the summit crater of Mount Nyiragongo in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. This massive, churning lake contains millions of gallons of liquid basaltic lava. Nyiragongo's lava is unusually fluid due to its low silica content, meaning if the crater walls fracture, the lake can drain out and surge down nearby mountain slopes at lethal speeds exceeding 60 miles per hour, 100 km/h. Fact 9. Supervolcano eruptions can trigger global volcanic winter's standard volcanic eruptions, can devastate local regions. But a supervolcano eruption can alter climate across the entire globe. Defined as an eruption that ejects over 1,000 cubic kilometers of material, supervolcanoes like Yellowstone or Lake Toba launch immense volumes of sulfur dioxide high into the stratosphere. This gas reacts with water vapor to form microscopic sulfate aerosols that act as a giant global mirror, reflecting incoming sunlight back into space. The result is a prolonged volcanic winter, dropping global temperatures by several degrees, destroying crops, and altering global weather patterns for years. Fact 10. Mars holds a monster volcano 3 times taller than Everest. While Earth's volcanoes are impressive, they pale in comparison to the planetary titans found elsewhere in our solar system. On Mars sits Olympus Mons, a gargantuan shield volcano that stands an astounding 22 kilometers, 13.6 miles, tall, and spans over 600 kilometers, 370 miles, wide. It is nearly 3 times the height of Mount Everest above sea level, and so wide it would completely cover the state of New Mexico or the entire country of Poland. Why did Mars produce such a giant? Because Mars lacks active plate tectonics, meaning the Martian crust stayed parked over a stationary magma hotspot for hundreds of millions of years. Fact 11. Volcanic soil produces some of the world's richest farmland. Directly after an eruption, volcanic landscapes look like scorched, uninhabitable wasteland. But give it time, and nature performs a remarkable transformation. Volcanic rock and ash are packed with essential plant nutrients like potassium, phosphorus, iron, magnesium, and calcium. As rain and weather break down the fresh volcanic rock over time, it creates incredibly rich, fertile soil known as andesols. This is why millions of people historically settled near active volcanoes despite the danger. Volcanic soil produces world-class agricultural yields for coffee, wine grapes, fruits, and vegetables. Fact 12. Without volcanoes, Earth might not have an atmosphere. Volcanoes are often viewed purely as agents of destruction, but humanity owes its very existence to ancient volcanic activity. 4 billion years ago, young Earth was a desolate rock without a breathable atmosphere or liquid water. Through a process called outgassing, thousands of primitive volcanoes spewed water vapor, carbon dioxide, nitrogen, and ammonia from deep within the mantle into the sky. This volcanic outgassing created Earth's early atmosphere and condensed to form our first oceans, laying the chemical groundwork for life to emerge. Volcanoes didn't just shape our planet, they made it habitable. From volcanic lightning and hidden underwater giants to Martian supervolcanoes and the origins of our atmosphere, volcanoes prove that our planet is alive and constantly evolving beneath our feet. Which volcano fact blew your mind the most? Were you shocked to learn about volcanic lightning or the size of Olympus Mons? Let us know down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video and learned something new, give this video a like. Hit that subscribe button. Share it with a friend who loves science and natural wonders. Join us on Tina Fact for more unbelievable, did you know, stories. Until next time, stay curious